The top 5 best spooky games, and notice I said spooky, not scary. So games like Silent Hill 2, Amnesia, or Aladdin Magic Racer are out. Truth is, I generally don't like actual scary games or scary movies. Anything where really terrible stuff is happening. For some weird reason, watching terrible stuff happen makes me feel terrible. And for some even weirder reason, I don't enjoy feeling terrible. It's never made sense to me. But spooky games? Now we're in business. Stuff that plays around with scary themes in ways that make them fun. Pretty typical of Halloween in general, with little kids wearing scary outfits going door to door for candy. Yeah, nice try, little ones, but people find that more cute than scary. You want scary? Try a dude in his 30s on your doorstep demanding nanners instead of candy. With video games, things being more colorful, less photorealistic, and 2D sprite-based, it tends to be less scary and more spooky. To the point you could say for a long time all we had were spooky games, and the genuinely scary games didn't arrive till later, making this a perfect topic for a retro gaming focused video, and my number 5 game that exemplifies this perfectly: Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Nothing says playing around with scary themes like blasting zombies with a water pistol. Seems pretty unrealistic, but if we ever do get zombies, here's to hoping. Though you do get weapons like a bazooka too, among other weapons and items, transformations. It's a perfect co-op game to play with a second player too. The objective is straightforward. Do the opposite of the title by having zombies not eat your neighbors, by rescuing them, which you do by simply walking into them, which you'll want to do quickly before they get eaten. As you'd expect, this game has a ton of horror movie references, which, how would I know since I don't watch horror movies? You see, I know because I've played Zombies Ate My Neighbors. I tend to recommend the Super Nintendo version of this game as the button layout works really nice, but if you have a 6-button controller for Genesis, that works great too. Some people don't like that the blood was changed to purple in the Super Nintendo version, so keep that in mind too, but I personally don't mind it. If anything, the game almost seems too cartoonish and silly for red blood to make sense anyway. Spooky, not scary, remember? And with that, my number 4 best spooky, not scary game would be the original Castlevania, which might have some of you questioning, how could Castlevania 1 be your favorite Castlevania game? To which I'd say, who says it is? Stay tuned for the rest of the list. But I do have an unconventionally soft spot for the NES's first Castlevania game, especially given how many people think the games that came after it are better, which I don't necessarily disagree with that sentiment on paper, but when it comes to actually sitting down and playing games, I find myself constantly coming back to play this one. I like the challenge in the linear progression, which I actually think go well hand in hand. In Castlevania 3, a game I still like overall, but with the branching paths and different characters, because the core game is still difficult, I often find the elements of figuring out the best path to progress / how to progress kind of annoying, like I'm busting my butt to get past certain enemies for nothing at times, potentially. In the first Castlevania, you just gotta get past what's right in front of you, that's it. And yeah, saying I like Castlevania 1 more than 3 might seem like the best way to get people to hate me until I say that I'm also somebody who really enjoys candy corn. That's the best way to get people to hate me or love me. But don't worry, I won't be putting Altered Beast on this list, or will I? Naturally, Castlevania has a lot of the classic spooky tropes: skeletons, bats, a mummy, Frankenstein's monster, your grandpa sleepwalking to the refrigerator in the middle of the night. I mean, that's gotta be what these enemies are, right? Maybe not. That's scary, not spooky. Alright, moving on to my number 3 spooky, not scary game, we have House of the Dead 2. To which some of you might be thinking, whoa, what was all that spooky, not scary talk? House of the Dead 2's voice acting is downright horrific. Which is true, but if you don't take it seriously, it actually becomes hilarious and makes things a lot of fun. To the point, I feel safe in saying that sort of of good voice acting would actually make the game worse. So being bad is actually good. Unfortunate other things in life don't work that way. I'd be a heck of a good singer.
They did the mash!
They did the monster mash!
Luckily, the actual gameplay is the good type of good. Great risk-reward dynamic in play where zombies take multiple hits, so you're constantly gauging how many shots you can get off in a row before you reload. Ideally not having to reload when a zombie is bearing down on you. You'll want to save random people from getting attacked by zombies too. These games always have you saving people from zombies. Made me think of an alternate title for this one. I tell ya, this game is hard though, but you can get better at it. It has a handful of different paths that are automated based on certain interactions you make, giving the game a bit of variety on repeated playthroughs, but really you can't go wrong with this one, especially if you're a fan of light gun games, which who isn't? Definitely not as divisive as Candy Corn. The number 2 game on my list is Ghouls and Ghosts. There's a lot of ports of this game, but I like the arcade original, which I'm playing via the Sega Saturn, a pretty good way to do it, I'd say. Most people think this game is just way too hard, which I can understand. It's a game you don't have to play, and life is already hard enough with all the things you have to do as it is. But what if I told you you'd never have to waste time looking for your keys again by taping them to your forehead, and now look who's got extra time for Ghouls and Ghosts. But yeah, I thought this game was too hard when I first started playing it as well, but give it a bit of time and this game has really gotten me hooked. The trick is to not dawdle around too much, finding that perfect balance of caution with keeping your butt moving. A lot of the enemies respawn, so you gotta use the screen to permanently defeat enemies by progressing through the stage and leaving them behind you. Something I really appreciate about this game is the variety of stages, with each new level feeling distinct from the last one and making it exciting to see what lies ahead. What's gonna kill me in this stage? The different weapons are fun, though you'll certainly find you like some more than others, and while the checkpoints can feel brutal at times, I find you never have too far to go to make it to the next one. It's certainly satisfying when you do. I love this game, and while some of my choices have maybe been polarizing, this next game probably isn't. Castlevania Rondo of Blood. The Castlevania game that was neglected in the US at the time of its initial release, and what a shame because it's my favorite Castlevania game. While I found figuring out where to go in Castlevania 3 to be not as fun, I do find the exploration in Rondo of Blood to be fun, mostly because you can play it like a typical get from point A to point B action platformer if you want. Can beat the entire game that way, but you can also poke around a bit and find entrances to entire secret levels that have their own boss fights and everything, to the point that trying to 100% this game is a ton of fun. One of the few games that I actually feel motivated to do that for. Bonus stages are just as substantial as the non-bonus ones. Really love the way this game controls too, including the super moves you get with the sub-weapons, and the music absolutely kicks butt, utilizing CD audio as this was originally released for the PC Engine CD, though there's certainly other ways to play it nowadays. But the result is a game that I feel is the full package, one that I've played through many times and will continue to do so. Heck, you may not believe this, but I enjoy this spooky game so much that I'm even able to play it on November 1st, though I did just realize my Christmas wreath from last year is still up. Looks autumnal now, don't it? But there we have it, my top 5 spooky, but not scary, games that I enjoy. If you're curious, a scary game that I actually do enjoy would be the 2019 version of Resident Evil 2. Love that game. But with that said, be sure to share some of your personal favorite spooky games, and I'm calling it right now, people are gonna misinterpret my critique of Castlevania 3. But if you want to help me, share this video with someone you like, and I will see ya in the next video.
He's the retro bird, yeah, and he's talking about video games. He's